Hello students, in my last videos we have started with unit 10, that is ecology. In ecology we have studied chapter number 13, organisms and populations, and we have completed it. Today I am going to be starting with a new chapter, that is chapter number 15, biodiversity and conservation. Now when we are talking about this biodiversity, what exactly do you mean by the biodiversity? Let us see. Now, in the biodiversity, if we divide the terms bio and diversity, diversity is going to be nothing but the variations or the varieties that you are seeing in the surrounding. Look around yourself, you can see so many different type of flowers, so many different type of fruits, so many different type of animals are there in the surroundings. So that is going to be called as a diversity. Biodiversity, that is in life forms how many different varieties are present, it is going to be called as the biodiversity. There are a variety of species, organisms, ecosystems present, and we need to conserve them or we need to protect them. So how we can do that, or what is the reason that we are having to conserve the biodiversity, that we are going to be studying in this lesson. So let us start with, first of all, what all is going to be discussed in this lesson. Here we are going to be starting with the levels of biodiversity. Then we will study how many number of species are there on our earth, that is how many varieties of species are there on this earth. Then we will go to the patterns of biodiversity, that is how this variety is distributed on our earth. Then after that we will study the loss of biodiversity, how many species are getting extinct, and because of that it is very necessary that we conserve this diversity. And finally, how to conserve the biodiversity we are studying in the last part. So these are going to be the topics that we are going to be studying in this chapter, that is biodiversity and conservation. To start with, let us go with the definition of the biodiversity that is given in your textbook. Herein, biodiversity is the diversity of biological organization ranging from cellular macromolecules to biomes. See, here in what they are saying, it is the diversity of biological organization. Means how in our ecosystem, how the organization of the biological things like the life forms is there, that is ranging from cellular macromolecules, that is from the smallest cellular organism, to the biomes. Biomes is nothing but a large ecosystem wherein the whole biosphere or the whole earth can be considered as a large biome. So right from the small cellular organism to the biomes, how much of the biological organization is having the diversity of the variation is going to be called as biodiversity. So once again, let us see what is going to be your biodiversity. Herein, the biodiversity is going to be nothing but the diversity of biological organization ranging from cellular macromolecules to biomes. Then, who used this term biodiversity for the first time? So, this term biodiversity for the first time was used and also popularized by a ecologist. You can see this person, he is no one but Edward Wilson. So this Edward Wilson was a well-known ecologist. He put forth the term biodiversity. He introduced the term biodiversity to the world, and he started using it, because of which it was popularized or known to everyone. So that is Edward Wilson. Now, coming to the next part here, levels of biodiversity. So what do you mean by levels? First understand. Here levels of biodiversity means herein we are going to be studying at what nature or at what stages the biodiversity is present. We are going from a smaller to a larger thing. You will understand here. So what are the levels of biodiversity? In the levels of biodiversity, we are studying the biodiversity at three levels. First one is going to be the genetic level. What do I mean by this genetic level? Genetic means at the gene level, at the smallest within one species also we can see there are going to be so many varieties at the genetic level. Then species diversity. Species diversity is, now what is species? Species are organisms which are fundamentally similar, which can interbreed among themselves and produce fertile offspring. For example, Homo sapiens, human beings are one species. So in that manner we can see there is dog, or there is going to be cat, or there is lion, tiger. These are species. So many different varieties of species are present. And then third, it will be the ecological diversity. Ecological diversity is going to be diversity that you are seeing in the land areas. You can see that today what is going to be climate in the Belgaum. Here we are having one type of climate that is not same in the Jammu and Kashmir, or it is not same in the Rajasthan. So here different ecological diversity is also present. So that we are going to be studying under levels of biodiversity, that is how there is biodiversity present at different levels, that is genetic, species and ecological. Now let us study all these three one by one. Coming to the first one, that is the genetic diversity. So when we are talking about the genetic diversity, here we are talking about the genetic level. So diversity shown by the single species at genetic level. First of all, take one simplest example. Human beings. We all belong to same species, that is Homo sapiens. Still we can see in human beings only there are different races present. Maybe it is going to be, if you are going to the African side, the race is completely different. American side, the race is completely different. India, the race is completely different. So here at genetic level also the varieties are shown. So let us see some textbook examples. Here they have taken example of a plant, that is Raufolia vomitoria. So what is this Raufolia vomitoria? So this Raufolia vomitoria is a type of plant, as you can see here. This is found only in the Himalayan regions. Why this was so famous? Because this vomitoria plant was found to produce a chemical known as this respine. So what this respine was doing? So this respine, what it was doing was, it was acting as anti-cancer drug. So it is going to be a drug against cancer. So because it is going to be a drug against cancer, it was found to be very useful. So they started discovering more about this vomitoria species. So when they found out more about the vomitoria species, they found out that in the Himalayan this is present, but in that plant only there are different varieties at genetic level. Some plants are showing more amount of the chemical respine, whereas some plants were showing less amount of the chemical, that is respine. The species is same, but at genetic level there were differences seen. Let us take a simpler example which you will understand. Here, if we are talking at the genetic level, we all know about rice. We are eating rice as rice. Only one single species, it is rice. But do you even know that there are going to be around 50,000 different varieties of rice present on this earth? You people only know some of them. For example, basmati rice, Sona Masuri rice. What are these? These are rice belonging to same species, but at genetic level they are different. You can take other example is going to be mango. All the mangoes are belonging to the same species, Mangifera indica, but at genetic level there are varieties present. Your Apus is there, your Pyri is there, your Gauti, what you call something, and then Totapuri. All these you can see that at genetic level they are different, whereas at the species level they are same. So this type of the diversity or variety that is seen in the genetics or at the genetic level, species and genus. So at the genus level, that diversity what it is seen, it is going to be called as the genetic diversity. Then coming to the next type, species diversity. Species, so diversity at the species level is going to be called as species diversity. Here we know different species are present in our surrounding itself. Example, in the Western Ghats, we are having a greater amphibian species diversity than Eastern Ghats. What is this amphibian species? Amphibians are nothing but your frogs are going to be mainly called as the amphibians. So these amphibians that are present, different type of frogs are found more in the Western Ghats that are present over here when compared to the Eastern Ghats. So this is one example, species diversity, how different kind of species are present into our surroundings. Then the next one is going to be the third level is ecological diversity. So ecological diversity is diversity at the ecosystem level. What is ecosystem? Ecosystem is going to be nothing but a particular, you can say, area with similar climate. Then the animals are going to be present regarding that climate. For example, the camel is present only in the desert. The elephant is not found in the desert. Elephant is present into the forest, that is mainly in the evergreen forest. In that manner, there are going to be some specific areas with particular animals, with particular temperature, with particular plant type. So that is going to be called as your ecosystem level. So diversity at the ecosystem level is going to be called as the ecological diversity. Let us take some examples. In India itself, we can see that there are going to be so many varieties of the ecological diversity present. First one is desert. So in the deserts you can see everywhere sand is present and only camel like organisms are there. Second is going to be your rainforest, evergreen forest. Evergreen forest, for example, you take your Amboli or you take Dandeli side, Khanapur side. So therein you can see how very thick forests are present. So those are going to be the evergreen forest or the rainforest. Then example is going to be mangroves. Mangroves you can see wherever the sea water is entering in the land, and therein the plants are growing in the water. There are different type of plants, different animals also are present there. So mangroves, you can take the estuaries. Estuaries are places where the river water is meeting the sea. At this point, the mixture of the sea water and the river water is seen. A mixture. So that type of water is going to be called as a estuary. Again, different organisms are present there. Coral reefs, the hard structures found at the base of the seas. Then you can take your wetlands. Wetlands are, in simple terms, if I call it, it is muddy place or it is a daldal, what we say. So wherein continuous water is standing or stagnant, it is wetland. Then you can take your alpine meadows. Alpine meadows are seen in your Himalayan mountains. Temperature is low and only very short grasses are present. As you can see here, there are no tall trees, only short grasses are present. Mainly the herbivores are surviving here. So these are going to be the ecological diversity that you can see only in India alone. Desert is there, rainforest is going to be there, mangroves, estuaries, coral reefs, wetland, alpine meadows. All these are I'm talking only about India, then you can imagine about the world. Again, in world there is various types of ecological diversity that is seen. So in this manner, these are going to be the three levels at which the biodiversity can be studied. First one, it was going to be at the genetic level. Then at the second, we saw at the species level. And third, we just now saw it is going to be at the ecological diversity. So this is going to be the levels of biodiversity. In my next video, we are going to be studying about how many number of species are present on the earth.